this country, but you can get a privately edited edition. Signed personally by the...
Casting for the 1968 movie Candy was a fascinating journey that involved a mix of talent, chemistry, and a bit of luck. The filmmakers sought actors who could embody the quirky and surreal nature of the story. For the lead role of Candy, the casting team considered several actresses before settling on the talented Aulin. Her youthful charm and ability to portray innocence made her a perfect fit. During auditions, Aulin's natural charisma stood out, and she quickly won over the directors. For the role of the philosophical and eccentric character, Dr. Yamskoy, the team looked at various established actors. They eventually chose the legendary actor Richard Burton, whose gravitas and depth brought a unique layer to the character. Burton's audition was memorable, showcasing his ability to blend humor with seriousness, which was essential for the role. The casting of the supporting characters also played a crucial role in the film's success. The chemistry tests between Aulin and the other actors, including the comedic talents of John Astin and the dramatic flair of Marlon Brando, were pivotal. These tests revealed how well the actors interacted, ensuring that the film would have the right balance of humor and drama. Moments during the auditions, such as Aulin's playful banter with Astin, highlighted the chemistry that would translate to the screen. The casting directors knew they had found the right mix of personalities to bring the whimsical world of Candy to life. Each actor's unique style contributed to the film's overall tone, making the casting process a vital part of its creation.
Require lifting off 2/3 of the skull and exposing the patient's brain to an inordinate amount of AD.
Bringing the story of Candy to life in 1968, the director embraced a unique vision that blended humor with a satirical take on the counterculture of the time. Inspired by the novel by Terry Southern and Mason Hoffenberg, the director sought to capture the absurdity of the characters and their situations. The film's style reflected the psychedelic era, using vibrant colors and surreal imagery to enhance the narrative. Collaborating closely with the cast, the director encouraged improvisation, allowing actors to explore their characters more deeply. This approach created a lively atmosphere on set, where spontaneity was embraced. The director also drew influence from the works of filmmakers like Federico Fellini, known for his dreamlike storytelling, and the playful absurdity found in the films of the French New Wave. By blending these influences, the director crafted a film that was both a reflection of its time and a timeless exploration of desire and identity. The collaboration with the crew was equally important, as they worked together to create a visual language that matched the film's themes. The use of unconventional camera angles and editing techniques added to the film's whimsical tone, making it a distinctive piece of cinema that resonated with audiences.
Don't tempt her. They're ready for anything. 18 months up here in the wild blue yonder have not reaped.
In 1968, the movie Candy was released, and it quickly became known for its mix of humor and drama. The film tells the story of a young woman named Candy, who goes on a journey of self-discovery. Along the way, she meets various characters that lead her through funny, shocking, and sometimes sad experiences. There are many interesting facts about this movie that you might not know. For example, did you know that the film was based on a novel by Terry Southern? It was also one of the first films to explore themes of sexuality and freedom in a way that was bold for its time. Are there any lesser-known facts or anecdotes about this movie that fascinate you? The cast included well-known actors like Aulin and Richard Burton, who brought their unique styles to the film. Many viewers have personal stories connected to Candy. What is your most cherished memory or personal experience related to this movie? We would love to hear your stories and memories in the comments below. Keep watching for more funny, shocking, and sad facts about Candy.
He loved that jacket.
Donors. We'll need donors. We'll do it. Wait a minute.
Filming the 1968 movie Candy involved a unique blend of creativity and logistical challenges. The set design aimed to capture the whimsical and surreal nature of the story, which is based on the novel by Terry Southern and Mason Hoffenberg. Designers used bright colors and exaggerated props to create a dreamlike atmosphere that matched the film's tone. Locations were chosen carefully, with some scenes shot in California, where the sunny landscapes provided a vibrant backdrop. Logistical challenges included coordinating the schedules of a star-studded cast, which featured actors like Aulin and Richard Burton. The production team had to manage the complexities of shooting in various locations, ensuring that all necessary permits were secured and that the crew could transport equipment efficiently. Innovative techniques were employed, such as using practical effects to create surreal visuals, which added to the film's psychedelic feel. The use of wide-angle lenses helped capture the exaggerated set designs, enhancing the overall visual experience. The combination of these elements made the production of Candy a memorable endeavor in the world of cinema. Aulin portrays a young woman named Candy, who feels stifled in her civics class taught by her father. Played by John Astin, her father discourages her from associating with boys, particularly the gardener, played by Ringo Starr, and a guest speaker, the poet MacPhisto, portrayed by Marlon Brando. This leads Candy to embark on a journey of self-discovery, exploring various dimensions of her identity. The film, based on a novel by Terry Southern and adapted by Buck Henry, is often seen as a reflection of the late 1960s experimental cinema, blending satire with a free-spirited narrative. While some viewers appreciate the film's psychedelic visuals and the rock score featuring bands like the Byrds, others criticize its lack of a coherent plot, noting that it loses momentum about two-thirds of the way through. Aulin's performance as the naive heroine is both praised and critiqued, as she is depicted as being taken advantage of by those around her. The supporting cast includes notable actors such as Richard Burton, who plays a poet teacher, and James Coburn, who portrays a celebrated surgeon. The film's eccentric characters, including a hunchback criminal and a guru, contribute to its surreal atmosphere. Critics have pointed out that while the film has its moments of charm and humor, it can also feel tedious due to its length and meandering storyline. The opening sequence, created by Douglas Trumbull, sets a visually striking tone, but the film ultimately presents Candy more as a concept than a fully developed character. The ending, reminiscent of a circus, attempts to tie together the various threads of the narrative, leaving audiences with a sense of ambiguity. Despite its mixed reception, Candy remains a curious artifact of its time, reflecting the cultural shifts and artistic experimentation of the late 1960s. The film's unique blend of humor, social commentary, and visual flair continues to spark discussions among viewers, making it a noteworthy entry in the era's cinematic landscape.
Pain is measured. Let me direct your attention to this.
What is it?
And soundtrack for the film Candy in 1968 was a significant part of its storytelling. The music was crafted to enhance the film's whimsical yet poignant narrative, reflecting the surreal experiences of the characters. Composers and musicians worked closely to create a sound that matched the film's tone, blending elements of jazz, pop, and classical music. This eclectic mix helped to underline the emotional highs and lows faced by the protagonist, Candy, as she navigated a world filled with absurdity and desire. Musicians brought their unique styles to the project, contributing to a rich auditory landscape. The score often shifted in tempo and mood, mirroring Candy's journey through love and confusion. Insights from the composers reveal that they aimed to evoke specific feelings at key moments, using music to guide the audience's emotional responses. The playful yet sometimes haunting melodies served to deepen the viewer's connection to the characters, making their experiences more relatable. The collaboration among the artists resulted in a soundtrack that not only complemented the visuals, but also stood out as a memorable aspect of the film's legacy.
But I don't have anything to give you.
The film features a notable cast that includes 5 Oscar winners: Marlon Brando, James Coburn, Walter Matthau, Sir Ringo Starr, and John Huston. Additionally, it includes 2 Oscar nominees, Richard Burton and Buck Henry. This strong lineup highlights the film's ambition and appeal. However, the production faced some controversy. Terry Southern, the original author of the source material, distanced himself from the project. One reason for this was the decision to cast a foreign actress in the lead role of Candy. Pia de Germark was the first choice for this role, as reported in a 1969 issue of Photoplay. Other actresses considered for the part included Connie Kresge and Sidney Rome. The casting choices and the involvement of high-profile actors contributed to the film's unique position in cinema history, reflecting the era's cultural dynamics and the challenges of adapting a controversial novel.
A-N-D, C-N-Y. Now,
in the 1968 film Candy, Several scenes stand out for their unique blend of humor and surrealism. The direction by Christian Marquand captures the essence of the absurdity in the story, which follows a naive young woman named Candy as she navigates a series of bizarre encounters. One iconic scene features Candy meeting a famous poet, played by the legendary actor John Astin. His performance is both whimsical and profound, showcasing the film's ability to mix comedy with deeper themes of love and desire. The cinematography, with its vibrant colors and playful camera angles, enhances the dreamlike quality of these moments, drawing the audience into Candy's whimsical world. Another memorable scene occurs when Candy finds herself in a surreal encounter with a group of soldiers. The tension and absurdity of the situation are heightened by the actors' performances, particularly that of the soldier played by Richard Burton, who brings a gravitas that contrasts sharply with the film's lighter elements. The filmmakers aim to challenge societal norms, and these scenes effectively provoke thought while entertaining the audience. Commentary from the cast reveals that they embrace the film's unconventional style, with Astin noting how it allowed for creative freedom. The impact of these scenes lingers, as they invite viewers to reflect on the nature of innocence and the complexities of human relationships.
Carbon cycle plant life.
No, stop. You must forget about these things. You must thrust them from your mind. You must leave science.
The pinball machine in the soda shop is the Williams' Big Daddy from 1963. During the production, screenwriter Buck Henry expressed concerns about the film's direction. He noted that it was meant to be a story about the all-American girl, yet a Swedish actress was cast in the lead role. The filming took place in Italy, which added to the confusion, as many actors did not fully understand the dialogue. Henry was writing the script while shooting, a process he found problematic. The director was French and lacked support on the production side, despite the large scale of the project. The filming locations shifted between Italy and the United States, with actors frequently coming and going. Henry felt that the film lacked a clear beginning or end, describing it as something that just happened. He acknowledged that much of the book's content could not be shown at the time, and even with fewer restrictions now, he believed the outcome would not have improved under the same conditions. The film is often regarded as the worst for all the stars involved.
MacPhisto.
The film Candy, released in 1968, made a significant cultural and social impact during a time of great change in America. It resonated with audiences by exploring themes of love, sexuality, and the counterculture movement. The story, which follows a young woman named Candy as she navigates a series of bizarre encounters, reflects the era's questioning of traditional values and norms. Viewers were drawn to its blend of humor and surrealism, which captured the spirit of the 1960s. Moreover, the film influenced pop culture by showcasing a more liberated view of sexuality, challenging the conservative attitudes of the time. It contributed to discussions about gender roles and the sexual revolution, encouraging open conversations about desire and personal freedom. The unique visual style and eclectic soundtrack also left a mark on the artistic landscape, inspiring future filmmakers and artists. As audiences engaged with its themes, Candy became a symbol of the era's cultural shifts, representing a break from the past and a move toward a more expressive and liberated society. The film's legacy continues to be felt, as it opened doors for more experimental storytelling and diverse representations in cinema.
Let's face facts. That stuff that's coming out of his head there is blood.
Oh no, Daddy, please say something.
The soundtrack features a piece called Ascension to Virginity, composed by Dave Grusin. This track would later be used in the end credits of Steven Soderbergh's Ocean's 12 in 2004, marking a notable connection between the two films. During the production, writer Buck Henry was still developing the script, indicating a dynamic creative process. In a unique twist, Buck Henry appears in the film as a character. He plays a man in an elevator who becomes anxious when Dr. A.B. Krankeit, portrayed by James Coburn, is mentioned. This moment adds a layer of meta-commentary, as the writer himself is part of the narrative. The film blends various elements, showcasing the creative challenges and unexpected moments that can arise during filmmaking. The interplay between the script and the on-screen action reflects the evolving nature of storytelling in cinema.
Not now. Ladies and gentlemen, the obstruction has been removed.
Despite its ambitious attempt to blend comedy and social commentary, The 1968 film Candy received a mixed critical reception. Some reviewers praised its boldness and unique storytelling, while others criticized it for being disjointed and lacking depth. The film, based on Terry Southern's novel, featured a star-studded cast, including Aulin, Richard Burton, and Marlon Brando, which drew attention. Critics noted the film's surreal and satirical take on the counterculture of the time, but many felt it did not fully deliver on its potential. Audience reactions varied, with some enjoying its quirky humor and others finding it confusing. The film did not receive major awards, but was nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. This nomination highlighted the film's cultural relevance and the talent of those involved, even if it did not achieve widespread acclaim. The mixed reviews and limited accolades reflect the challenges of adapting complex literary works for the screen, leaving a lasting impression on the careers of its cast and crew.
No.
Cut? Good. I have now filmed 100...
In the final scene, the director makes a brief appearance through a reflection in mirror walls, capturing a moment with the camera crew and the cast. During the filming in California on March 21, 1968, Aulin married British musician and filmmaker John W. Shadow in a secret ceremony in Tijuana, Mexico. Their son, Sean Rolfe John Shadow, was born over a year later in Sion, Switzerland. The surgery scene featuring James Coburn was filmed in a hospital that holds personal significance for screenwriter Buck Henry, as it was the same place where his father passed away. These details highlight the intertwining of personal and professional lives during the production, adding depth to the film's history. The behind-the-scenes moments and personal milestones of the cast contribute to the overall narrative of the project, reflecting the unique experiences that shaped its creation.
What are you gonna do?
You're gonna get frisked, lady. Like you've never been...
During the making of the 1968 movie Candy, the cast and crew experienced a mix of challenges and memorable moments. The film, based on Terry Southern's novel, was known for its surreal humor and satirical take on the 1960s counterculture. One day on set, the director, Christian Marquand, decided to shoot a scene in a lavish mansion. The crew arrived to find the house filled with eccentric art and odd sculptures. The actors, including the charming Ringo Starr and the captivating Aulin, were both amused and distracted by the bizarre decor, which led to spontaneous laughter and improvisation during takes. As filming progressed, the atmosphere became increasingly relaxed. Ringo, known for his playful spirit, often lightened the mood with jokes and music. He would sometimes break into song between scenes, encouraging others to join in. Yua, on the other hand, brought a sense of calm and focus, often helping to keep everyone grounded during long shooting days. The crew faced difficulties with the film's unique visual style, which required creative solutions. They experimented with lighting and camera angles, leading to unexpected but beautiful shots that enhanced the film's dreamlike quality. One particularly memorable moment occurred during a scene involving a large group of extras. The extras, dressed in colorful 1960s attire, were so enthusiastic that they began to dance spontaneously, turning the scene into a lively celebration. The director decided to keep the footage, capturing the genuine joy and energy of the moment. This spontaneity became a hallmark of the film, reflecting the free-spirited nature of the era. The camaraderie among the cast and crew created a lasting bond, with many sharing stories and laughter long after the cameras stopped rolling. The experience of making Candy was not just about creating a film. It was about capturing a moment in time that resonated with the spirit of the 1960s.
Paratroop Command, Spec Rec Tac Paracom. I am responsible for the success of this mission, which is to stay aloft.
In a notable scene, Grindl's attempt to seduce Candy led to an unexpected incident involving Marlon Brando and Aulin. Production manager Gray Fredrickson recalled that Brando tried to engage in sexual activity with Aulin on camera, which caused her to react strongly. However, Matteo Spinola, the film's press agent, provided a different account. He described a morning where both actors were naked under a pile of expanded polystyrene balls. They remained hidden during breaks, and at one point, the balls began to move, indicating they were engaging in intimate acts. Aulin found the situation amusing, but ended up needing medical attention due to the stress. Another interesting detail involves a scene with Dr. A.B. Krankeit, played by James Coburn. The sequence where a nurse helps him put on latex gloves was actually filmed in reverse, showing the gloves being pulled off instead. Additionally, after a reviewer suggested that the story was a loose satire of Voltaire's Candide, the authors acknowledged this interpretation, even though it was not their original intention. Co-author Mason Hoffenberg admitted that this connection was accidental. Candy, released in 1968, stands as a unique piece in film history, reflecting the counterculture movement of its time. The film, based on Terry Southern's novel, blends comedy and surrealism, showcasing a young woman's journey through a world filled with eccentric characters. Its bold themes of sexuality and social commentary resonated with audiences, pushing boundaries in storytelling and visual style. The film's unconventional narrative structure and its exploration of taboo subjects paved the way for future filmmakers to experiment with similar themes. Directors like John Waters and the creators of films in the 1970s embraced the spirit of Candy, using humor and absurdity to tackle serious issues. The film's influence can be seen in later works that challenge societal norms, such as Harold and Maude and Pink Flamingos. Additionally, its visual style and character-driven storytelling inspired a generation of filmmakers to prioritize personal expression over traditional narrative forms. The legacy of Candy continues to be felt as it opened doors for more diverse and daring cinematic voices.
One asks oneself, why? Because I celebrate.
Financing for the film came primarily from Marlon Brando's involvement. His friendship with director Christian Marquand played a key role in this arrangement. Brando agreed to participate as a favor to Marquand, who had previously assisted him in negotiations for the purchase of the Tahitian island of Tetiaroa. Although Brando was not fond of the script, he enjoyed filming his scenes. His presence attracted other actors, making it easier for producers to get on board. One notable opposition to Brando's island purchase came from Jacques-Denis Drolet, the head of the Tahitian Territorial Assembly. Drolet's son, Dag, later had a child with Brando's daughter, Cheyenne. This connection led to a tragic incident involving Brando's son, Christian, after allegations of abuse arose. In the film, a recurring visual element is the hot wind, which enhances the introduction of attractive characters. This effect often features a breeze that dramatically moves their hair and clothing, typically in slow motion. Initially, the lead role was offered to Playboy playmate Detty Lind, but she declined the opportunity.
You may be interested in knowing that...
This examination is terminated.
My God, she's at it again.
The film begins with the main character wearing the same toga she wears at the end, suggesting that the story starts near the conclusion of her journey. Marlon Brando appears in this film as a favor to his friend Christian Marquand, who assisted him in negotiations with the French government for the purchase of the Tahitian island of Tetiaroa. John Huston and John Astin collaborated only on this project, yet their families share connections through other well-known franchises. Astin is recognized for his role as Gomez Addams in the television series The Addams Family, while Huston's daughter, Angelica Huston, portrayed Morticia in the films released in the early 1990s. Additionally, Huston lent his voice to Gandalf in the animated adaptations of The Hobbit and The Return of the King. Astin's son, Sean Astin, later took on the role of Sam Gamgee in the theatrical adaptations of J.R.R. Tolkien's works. This intertwining of families highlights the connections within the film industry.
And I have swipes of terrace, folks.
Go away! You're interfering with the
Marlon Brando appeared on Variety's list of top 10 overpriced stars in 1968, highlighting the perception of his value in the film industry at that time. Pamela Desbarres, known for her book On with the Band, mentioned that she was also considered for the title role, indicating the competitive nature of casting for significant parts. James Coburn played a character named Dr. Krankeit. The name Krankeit translates to illness in German, which adds a layer of meaning to his role. Additionally, Dr. Krankeit references a well-known vaudeville routine where a patient visits a bumbling doctor. This sketch gained fame through performances by Joe Smith and Charles Dale in Two Tickets to Broadway, and was later reprised by Walter Matthau and George Burns in The Sunshine Boys. These connections reflect the blend of humor and cultural references present in the film. The drag queen riot scene in this film is significant, as it foreshadowed the Stonewall riots in New York City, which occurred just 6 months later. This moment in the film highlighted the struggles and tensions within the LGBTQ community during that era. In a later documentary, Marlon Brando expressed his strong disapproval of the film, calling it the worst movie I ever made in my life. His comment reflects the mixed reception and controversy surrounding the film. Initially, in 1964, Frank Perry was set to direct the project. He had plans for Hayley Mills to take on the lead role. However, her father, John Mills, did not support this decision, which led to changes in casting. The film's production faced various challenges, including its reception and the opinions of those involved. These elements contribute to the film's place in cinematic history and its impact on discussions about representation and identity.
Why don't you take off those shoes, huh? Here we are.
Buck Henry wrote a poem for MacPhisto, played by Richard Burton, as a parody of Dylan Thomas. This film marked the final directorial effort of Christian Marquand. A notable scene features the Hunchback Juggler, portrayed by Charles Aznavour, who escapes the police by crawling on the ceiling of a mansion. He then jumps through a window made of water. This moment visually references Jean Cocteau's surrealist work, The Blood of a Poet, where a character jumps into a mirror made of water after crawling over a hallway of doors. The filmmakers achieved this effect by constructing the wall and ceiling on the studio floor and filming from above. The sound effect during this scene, a shouted no, echoes the same moment in Cocteau's film, creating a connection between the two works. The blend of humor, surrealism, and visual creativity showcases the unique style of the film and its influences.
Well, I want you to,
Yes?
strip down.
Florinda Bolkan made her film debut in this production. The New York premiere occurred on December 17, 1968. Marlon Brando, a key actor in the film, sought changes to his part of the script. The screenwriter, Buck Henry, known for his work on The Graduate, faced an unusual situation when Brando visited him in Paris. Accompanied by Peter Zorff, a financier for the film, Brando found Henry ill with food poisoning. Despite Henry's condition, Brando insisted on discussing the script. As Henry made frequent trips to the bathroom, Brando continued to suggest ways to enhance the comedic elements of his scenes. At one point, Brando found Henry nearly unconscious and carried him to the bed, where he kept reading the script and making suggestions. Zorff remained quiet, observing the scene. A waiter entered to collect a dinner tray and was taken aback by the sight of Brando, the sick writer, and the financier. The waiter left quietly, leaving the unusual gathering behind.
But they're my only shoes.
Throw them! Wait.
Sharing your experiences and memories related to the 1968 movie Candy can be a wonderful way to connect with others who appreciate cinema. Many viewers found the film to be a unique blend of humor and social commentary, reflecting the changing times of the late 1960s. It challenged traditional views on love, relationships, and societal norms. For some, watching Candy was a moment of awakening, sparking discussions about freedom and self-expression. Others may recall how the film's bold themes influenced their taste in movies, leading them to seek out more unconventional stories. Your personal stories about how Candy impacted you can inspire others to reflect on their own cinematic journeys. Did it change how you view relationships or the world around you? Engaging with this film can open up conversations about its lasting effects on our perspectives. We invite you to share your thoughts, experiences, and memories. Like, share, and subscribe for more cinematic explorations that dive deep into the films that shaped our lives.
Well, no matter what happens, we have to go on living and loving.